What is up, folks? This is my CPI game plan for tomorrow. We have gotten these past 7 days of trading have been an absolute choppy shit show because what happens before big moves? You get consolidation. That's what happened over here with SPY. What happened? We chopped around, consolidate, consolidate, we break, and there's the big move. We're doing the same thing. It happened 2 CPI reports ago. Consolidate, big move. You can see right there, consolidate, big move. This is typically what happens. Unfortunately, all year, every time it does this, it usually moves down, lower to the downside, a lot quicker than it moves to the upside. And I've missed all the ones that it goes to the upside because I'm so busy being like, wait, shouldn't things be going down? But anyways, I just want to talk about what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, what my trading game plan is going to be. I mostly just plan on playing SPY because I think SPY is just, I mean, it's a whole market. It's going to move. We're going to get some direction after set. Or, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe we get nothing. Maybe CPI is just like right at estimates and the market just moves like 0.5%. That would be hilarious. That would be the market makers just laughing in everyone's face. But what's most important in my eyes, people are looking at SPY, they're looking at the NASDAQ, they're looking at Apple, they look at Microsoft, they even take a look at Tesla and Amazon. But I look at the VIX, and that tells you everything you need to know, in my opinion. VIX is right here at support. So you can see this little zone. Let's clean this up a little bit. So it is actually broken through the support, technically, but that could just be a big fake out. I right there in that channel. So that has been the peak. This is the peak that we had back in November where the VIX spiked. This was the peak that we had at the start of the year where the VIX spiked. We had the Ukraine war over here where it spiked. We had the end of March, start of April where it spiked, and everyone remembers what happened after that. And now we're right back at this point. So this is make it or break it for VIX. VIX had an oddly green day today, very strange considering that the market really didn't go down that much. And another thing I'm seeing on VIX is that it's got a nice little falling wedge that it's sitting right inside of. And I don't really go by the wicks on VIX because VIX is so like iffy, but it's a little worrying. We got a falling wedge. We're right at support. We're right up against this trend line. Look at this trend line. Look how money that trend line is. Wick up, reject, 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 reject. And we are just like usually at this zone, you get a bounce from VIX and you get a dump from SPY. So this is the make it or break it moment for the market. If we can get VIX down below 20 tomorrow, SPY is going 430, 435. Bye bye. Maybe bull market is back. Who knows? But we got to watch. I mean, look at that. It went up to that tap, tap, tap. That trend line's money. So you got to pay attention to VIX tomorrow. It has just been holding on to the support. It's technically broken it, but just barely. And really, 20 is the major level I look for on VIX. You can see where it got below 20 over here. It's been below 20. So VIX has just been in a kind of a sort of consolidation. I mean, we're getting like lower highs, higher low, lower high, higher low kind of thing. I mean, it's weird what VIX has been doing, but it's right at that point where it could bounce if our CPI data comes in a little hot. So we're expecting 8.5% headline CPI, which would be like 0.3% over the month of June. But one thing we have to consider, remember this jobs report that we had recently? Those estimates were so far off. They were almost off by like 50%. These are the people that make the estimates for the CPI data, and it was like so far off. These people have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah, it was well over double. They had projected that the economy added 250,000 jobs, but we really added double that at 528,000. These are the people that come up with our CPI estimates, so these people could be way off. If we, God forbid, get hotter CPI than last month, which I don't think is possible, then we'll see some direction from the market. We'll see some direction straight into the goddamn toilet. I'll tell you that much. Because then that would have killed the narrative. This whole rip has been on the narrative that, hey, inflation has peaked, gas prices are going down, inflation has peaked, which means it's coming down, which means the Fed can lighten up, and we know that is the sign of every bottom of every economic recession in U.S. ever since the Fed has existed. It's always when the Fed U-turns that the bottom is in and the market rallies, and we can see that in these last couple month and a half that we've had. So if that ends up not being true, inflation hasn't peaked, we'll dump. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's like common sense. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we could get a CPI number that is a little hot. I don't think that'll be enough to dump it. We could be really low. I mean, CPI could cool down a lot. We could see like 8.3%. That would be huge if we saw an 8.3% number. Even though remember back when that was a bad thing when we got 8.3%. That was when we dumped over here. But anyways, that's the market we're in. We're always looking forward in the stock market. So I will go through my levels on SPY, what I will be playing, where my risk levels will be. So here on SPY, I see a solid support right here at 410. Solid support below that at about 408 to 407. Those are my solid support levels. Definitely 407. If we break below 407, it's time to go big short because then we'll have a break out of this rising wedge that we've had. And that will be a quick fall. We will plummet through that very, very fast because you can see how how quickly we tore from 399 up to 407. We went straight up. So that means you go straight down when you go straight up like that. You can see what happened last CPI report. We went from 397 on SPY straight up to like 413, and then what happened? We sliced through it like hot butter, but much, much quicker. So if we get a really bad CPI reading, I'm seeing downside, but I'm going to set levels. This middle zone from about 410 to 415-ish, I'm not touching it. I need to see a break above one of those levels. I will leg into calls if we get a break above 413 tomorrow. If we open above that level, I will grab a call because that is another very key level. You can see where we've consolidated. We broke above that. We tested, broke below it, retest, resist, broke above it, retest. Then it's just been a solid level. I think if we retake that level and hold it, that's really bullish. But then I'm going full size, big calls above 415. And just above that, I mean, 417, that's the last high that we had, but that's not a huge level in my opinion. But above those levels, 415, I'm going full size with my risk level being 413, so that's a $2 risk on SPY to about I mean, I could see SPY going straight to 430, honestly. We have a gap up at 424. We could, who knows, the market could be the greenest day ever, for all we know, because this is huge. So my risk to reward is very high on that direction. To the downside, if we break below this 409, 410, I'll leg into puts at 410. Go full size if we break below 407, and then my risk level will be 410 again. So I'll have a $3 risk to I mean, I think we come straight down to 400. $3 risk to about a $5 reward on those. So I could be setting myself up for some big losses, but I just don't want to preemptively jump into anything before we get a meaningful breakout. I'm trading a breakout. We always get a break. Usually we get a breakout when you consolidate like this, and last time the breakout, I mean, if you were doing this 2 CPI reports ago and you just said, hey, if SPY gets below 407, I'm taking it short, you would have made a lot of money. That's basically how simple it could be, and that's how simple I think it might be for this CPI. Who knows? It could not be. It could just be a choppy shit show. You never know. But to the upside, that level is huge over here at 416-ish and 417. That's why I say I'm going full in at like 415 above that. So I got these plans. They're rock solid. I'll start up. I'm thinking upside tomorrow. So I'm looking upside, but I'm going to have a backup plan to go to the downside. I'm thinking I enter my first calls at 413, full size if we can get to 415 and break through that, and then just let them ride with my stop. I'll raise my stop up to 415 after that. Downside, like I mentioned, anything below 410, I believe, will be really bearish. And we have actually, I mean, we already have, but that's why I think this could be a big bear trap. We have broken out of this rising wedge. I mean, we have this big ass rising wedge going up here. that we technically broke out of today. I mean, we're out of it. It took a big dump out of that. I just think it could be a big fake out because any setup can just get thrown out the window when you get big old news like CPI data coming out, especially in this market. So that's why I didn't hold any puts. I'm holding one call overnight, just in case SPY gaps up like a point and a half, and I'll have a $200 200x return when I wake up. That'd be great. So anyways, that's my plan for CPI. I plan on really just playing SPY. I don't see any other reason. I don't think. I mean, uh, semiconductors have just been getting beaten up. I mean, AMD is broken down. It has broke its uptrend. It is has broken out of this trend line. It almost held it today. Nvidia has completely dumped out of it, which I regret not taking this because I was looking at this rising wedge for so long. But it always happens overnight. It's always overnight on some terrible news where it breaks out of this setup, and then I thought I'd be chasing it, and I wish I had chased it because now it dumped all the way down to 167 at one point. But so that's interesting on semis because semis can sometimes lead the market. It worries me a little bit when I see semis so weak because AMD and Nvidia just completely dumped today. Like the whole semiconductor index was down about 4% today, which is terrible. But right now the semiconductor index is sitting right at this. See if I can actually zoom out. It's sitting right at this trend line. Look, it wicked down right to that trend line where it broke out of previously. So it could just be a pullback and a bounce. But I don't think I need to fart around with any of that. I think SPY will be the way. I'm trying to focus on just SPY. Yeah, no drama with SPY. SPY is king. Um, anyways, I think that's about all I got for that. I'm just running all these different scenarios through my head. I'm just really worried with the way VIX is setting up. It looks like it just wants to bounce so hard, and it's done this so many times in the past where it just like it looks like it breaks through support. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Like right here, it did that. It did that. It broke through support. It wicked off it, broke through it, and spiked hard off of it. So that just spooks me out a little bit. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking it. Yeah, that's my plan for CPI day at 5:30 sharp. I'm gonna be up and I think I'll live stream it. I'll get up at 5. But yeah, it's gonna be. We'll get some direction finally. We gotta get some direction. That's why I'm waiting on breakouts because when you get direction, you buy the breakout. Yeah, so that's my plan going into tomorrow. It should be fun. Let's see if we got a better day than today. It's gonna be worse than today, but yeah, that's it, folks. I'll catch you later. Good luck tomorrow. I'll be here 5 o'clock sharp or 5:30 sharp, whenever it comes out. Anyways, peace.